What's going on, everyone? So this is going to be about, is Elden Ring DLC too hard? And I'm going to say, when we think about too hard, it's like you're forced to try to look for the most broken build possible because you can't play the way you want to play. If you are a mage in this DLC, it is complete and utter bottom of hell Lucifer hard. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's just absolute torture, and then everything you do is you're just going to feel tortured. So is this too hard? Well, I'll say for the average person, oh yeah, way too hard. Like, there's like hard where you feel good and there's a balance, and there's just like, there's literally no room to make you feel happy. They just torture the fuck out of you in this expansion. Like, nothing in here is easy. Nothing in it, not even regular enemies. Everything is literally ridiculous from the beginning all the way to the end. And yeah, I did beat the DLC, as you see right here. I beat the final boss, but there's still a lot more to explore. I mean, I still didn't go up here, go over there, but I beat all the main bosses. So I still got a lot more to go. There's some side and optional bosses. I'm definitely going to be doing literally almost everything. But I got the hardest stuff out the way. I have to tell you guys, I had to rebuild my character. And I'm going to give you some tips. Look, this DLC is literally geared towards like tanky characters and like bleed builds. You know, you can do like Death Knight builds. Just like, you have to like really think how unforgiving it is. Definitely on this cocksucker right here, Rodan. Oh my god, he's a nightmare. I hate him. But I feel better since I killed him. Yeah. If you guys haven't got here, you're gonna find out. He's an absolute nightmare. I'm gonna tell you, like, as a mage, definitely if you're a mage user right now, it's literally gonna feel like it's impossible. Like, even with the summon, like a mimic tear or whatever. Because if you don't do what you're supposed to do and you don't know how to do the fight, like, you can't cheese him. He's going to rip right through your summon. And when you do any type of summon, he becomes powerful. So now you're left with a more powerful version rather than you soloing. If you do co-op, he becomes twice as strong. If your co-op partner dies, you're fighting a boss twice as strong as you would if you had did a summon. They're way more powerful when you summon another player. So if you summon 2 players, it's like 3 times an upscale, and you're left with an overpowered steroid version of them, and you're not going to be able to do it. So there's really no way to cheese bosses in this DLC. Not only that, but you can't come into this DLC overpowered. If you came into this DLC on New Game Plus 7, guess what? You're getting that difficulty scaled down to basically almost a naked character until you get Erdtree Blessings. You see over there, I'm level 9, and Revered Spirit Ash Blessing, level 6. And if you look over to the right, you see those yellow stats. Those are the stats for the DLC that you get from those blessings and what you have on. If you just come in here on New Game Plus 7, even if you're like max level like 999 or whatever, that's literally the hardest difficulty you're going to be coming in on here with none of those blessings. You're going to get your ass handed to you. It just scales you down to the expansion, and you have to build up with those stats. So there's no way to cheese it, you know what I mean? So I only did co-op once, and that was on this final boss. Other than that, I did some summons on the other ones, but like I said, if you're not doing your part and you're not taking aggro, they'll rip your summon to pieces and you're stuck with a harder version. So, yeah, that's basically how it works. Definitely as a mage. And I have to tell you guys, it's very unfair on a mage in this expansion. We get no breathing room. This is a reason why I had to go and rebuild my damn character. Like, I was trying to make a faith build to get more magic and diversify my magic. With my intelligence build, as you see, is at 85. Just to get like certain buffs and stuff. I mean, it is better. But on Radon, that's not happening because this bastard like attacks so much, and when he hits you, he literally knocks off your stamina bar like hell. So my endurance was only at like 24. I had to take all the points out of Faith and out of Arcane and dump them into Endurance so that I could have a huge ass endurance bar. I had to also take off, I would tell you what I had before. I had to take off my Primal Glintstone Blade, and I need this. This thing's amazing. Look at it. It spells consume less FP, so you can cast way more, but it reduces your HP. That's not going to be applicable on him. I mean, maybe if you have a good co-op partner. And I had something else other than this right here. Let me see, what else did I have? I think I had a yeah, it was either another FP. Oh yeah, there was another item It wasn't just this. It was this right here. So I had that and raises potency of sorceries. Yeah, I was doing a lot of damage, but the thing is that on him, that shit doesn't matter if he just beats the shit out of you. And then by the time he gets done attacking you, I can barely get off a spell, or I may not have any. That's the cancerous part. Like, if you cast a spell, it uses your endurance. So not only do you have to dodge a lot and block a lot, on bosses like this, if you don't have the endurance by the time, he'll break your damn guard. And then you can't cast. And then by the time it fills back up, he's coming right back in your face again. And what are you going to do? So as a melee user, like I highly just recommend you guys too, because I gotta tell you, all the games, Souls games, I usually always do melee. I hardly ever did magic. I just decided this game, you know what? Let me do it. And like I said, I love it. I may make a melee character too, but there's other games where you don't have a choice, like Liza P. You know what I mean? You have to melee. Bloodborne, you have to melee. There's no magic in any of those games. And a lot of other Souls likes around the world. Lords of the Fallen actually has magic. If you go to what was that Bandai Namco game? You guys know what I'm talking about though. But mostly a lot of these other games, they don't allow you to do magic. So I felt like they had an amazing magic system in this game. And that's what made me go this route. But in this expansion, I heavily regretted it because I just feel like it's catered towards people who want to use heavier armor, shields, bleed builds, and just like stuff that where it's like it's kind of forcing you to do that because it just doesn't give you any other option if you want to play by yourself, which I mostly did. Like I said, I have my summons, but they have limits because these bosses do not play no games. Definitely bosses like Mesmer, you know what I mean? I mean, he will literally tear your summon in pieces. So will Radon right here. Even worse. He'll kill him before you even get to the second phase. And not only that, he don't even let you summon. You have to find a way to get a damn summon off. At the beginning, he comes right in your face and jumps across the map at you. And gives you literally no window to get a summon. The only way you have a window to get a summon, I'm going to help you guys out with this, is when he scrapes up the ground and goes up with all those purple meteorites and gets ready to come towards you. That's when you want to do that. Like, you don't have a choice. If you don't do it before that, it's going to be hard to get that summon off. And then even when you do the summon, like I had to Mimic Tear, it takes off my HP, so I have to use up one of the HP valves, which I actually need. And, you know, coming along the side through this expansion, all the way up to here at this point, like, you literally get no breathing room. So all you guys out there quitting, I'm just going to have to tell you, if you want to beat this expansion, you probably have to look for a more tankier build. But if you want to play the way you want to play and beat it, yeah, it's going to be really rough. And co-op's not easy either because nobody wants to do it because they know it's even harder. Luckily, I had a really good partner that knew what he was doing on this fight. Like, I almost had him a couple times, you know, down to 15%, a little bit 10%, and then at one time a little bit under that, and then he took me out. That's where I really lost it. I fought this guy for like 5 straight hours. I'm telling you. And the thing is, it's like people in this day and age are just not used to this type of content. Guys, back then, this was like, you know, very, very, very prominent in certain games like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 11, and just older, hardcore Japanese style development where you got these type of challenges. Like, you have to think about old World of Warcraft days. There's people wiping for weeks, sometimes months, to try to even clear a boss. People today would not even be happy sitting there for 2 hours, dying 100, 150, 200 times. They wouldn't be able to handle it. In those days, you're wiping thousands of times every day to try to get to something. Those of you that play Final Fantasy 14, if you're playing on those hardest difficulties, you know how that is. But people, like the average, I say audience today, they're just not used to this type of content, and it's not going to be sunshine for them. If you go on Steam, you can see those mixed reviews. Oh, we know this DLC is absolutely god tier. Like I say, it's a 10 out of 10. It's that good, but it's so difficult that it's going to make you want to hate it. And then they're going to go in that little infantile rage. They're going to get mad. They're going to go on Steam, and they're going to hit that 3 out of 10. But we know this development is not 4 out of 10. No, they just feel like it's impossible that it doesn't make them want to play. A lot of people are quitting this DLC because it's too damn hard for them. And I have to say, it is. And it's unbalanced because that's not the way people were developed and grown up in this past decade. And even before that. They're not used to this. This is unforgiving hard. I can tell you, definitely if you're a mage user, if you are a magic user, it's stomping your soul into the ground and breaking it into pieces like glass dropping from a 100-foot ceiling. and laughing at you. Yeah, it's that tough. So, like I said, guys, choose tankier builds. And when it comes to this guy, remember, he does holy damage. So let me give you an example here. These right here, this is why you want to craft. If nobody doesn't know about crafting, you want to gather yourself in an environment and you want to get those cooking recipes or those whatever you call them, the cookbooks or whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. So you can have stuff like this. This is the higher tier version. Like I said, you want stuff like that. You want stuff like this. You get this in the catacombs. I did a video how to get this. And then like you want to look around for something that has very high holy resistance. And just in general, you want high defense. Like for him, I actually did the Crucible Tree Helm set because that has the highest holy resistance. On top of like very, very high defense. Usually I'm running around rocking Relana's God set, which I really love. It's amazing and beautiful. You see that right there. Like I said, I had to redo my endurance so I can equip heavier stuff as a mage. I'm pretty much freaking a battle mage here to get through this damn DLC because it's just not going to allow you. Otherwise, you'll just get crushed into the ground. Not only that, I did it on New Game Plus. I didn't know that it was going to scale you like this. And I was already on New Game Plus, so I had to work my way up to this. So basically, I did the harder version. Those of you that are on the base game, guys, it's harder on New Game Plus. Not joking. But, so yeah, you see, I did this shield because I only need 12 strength for this. And it's actually a magic shield. So it benefits my character. And then, you know, you got to find ways around it. So, for example, if we go to item crafting, you see you'll be able to at least make this. So you need beast liver for that, gold sunflower for that, golden rora for that. I actually got all those books to get all this stuff down here. Not only that, you're gonna need to choose the right combination for your wondrous physics. For me, I did the opaline bubble tier and I did the crimson bubble tier. This is literally like, you're not going to die, I'm going to heal you real quick. I mean, it helps, right? And this takes one lick for you. All this stuff factors in, like, big time. So, those of you that quit, like I said, if you ever think about coming back, or you're just too mad that you never want to again, because I know it can make you that mad. Like I said, you're going to have to go probably more on the tankier side. And I'm not going to disagree with you guys by saying that this is not for everyone. No, they made this for like elite players. It's almost like, here, if there was like 1 million people, here it is for like 10,000. You know what I mean? Something like that. Definitely on this bastard. And if you're trying to do solo, no summons or whatever that, yeah, those people that are doing that, find me a mage video. Doesn't exist. No, they're all melee, bleed, shield users. And then even then, some of them that never summoned before, and I know these people are really fucking good, they did a summon. And the ones who didn't, like I said, they did those cheap builds. And even the guy that I was playing with, that I did co-op with, he ended up having like a crazy-ass tank build. And so he was, not only that, but he had some bleed setups too. Then I saw people with like Scarlet builds and all that. Like, you kind of have to. Because like I said, it's very unfair otherwise. And if people are thinking about the other route, you're going to be suffering a lot. Now, I didn't go super tanky on these other bosses. I was actually able to do it, but it was not easy at all. So what I could tell you guys, though, is that those are the routes you're going to kind of have to go towards if you want to survive in this DLC and you feel like it's too hard. Because there's no other game they designed that comes even close to this DLC. And remember, Bloodborne DLC was pretty tough. Dark Souls 2 DLC was tough as hell. Like, you playing like the base of Dark Souls 2, like, man, this game is too easy. You get in that DLC, it's like, damn, man, they took it to the next level like in this game. But this game's DLC sets a new standard for, like, Master just rage. Like, it just tortures the hell out of you. Like I said, I'm going to go through the rest. There's some other bosses I heard that was really hard, so I'm looking forward to that. But I kind of wanted to highlight this and talk about how tough this DLC really is and how I know you guys are actually feeling. And like I said, I beat the toughest of the tough. I mean, I played the hardest MMO of all time, Final Fantasy 11, so I've been through the most hardcore stuff. And even as a most intense hardcore player, and I can be masochistic when it comes to being tortured and going through it, and you know, knowing my mindset, I have a god tier mindset that I'm taking you down. I'm not. I'll sit here and die 1,000 times if I have to and not back off. Though I've never died that much, but I'm saying I have that type of mindset where it's just like, it's almost impossible to break me. You just can't. And I will tell you that this game was pissing me off and making me want to just be done with it. And how I thought that definitely as a mage, as a melee user, you guys have it easier. How as a mage is just completely unfair. It's almost fucking impossible. But yeah, you guys are still going and you're thinking about it. Don't quit. Hang in there. Like I said, look for a more tankier route. And even if you have to do co-op, you know, give it a try. I only did it once, and that's on this boss. But other than that, like I said, even if you do co-op, remember it makes the boss a lot harder. If nobody knows what they're doing, you're just left with a harder boss. So will they nerf it and tone it down? Knowing Miyazaki, probably not. He's probably having a field day right now, watching people rage and so those other assholes. Anyways, that's pretty much it on this. Hopefully you guys can survive through this, and those of you that quit, hopefully you come back. Maybe. Like I said, if you do, you know what you got to do. All right, y'all. Peace out.